That was too much. Live from New York, it's the show that's congratulating, because you're pounding, got me confused. Who was it?
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
5 for 270. It doesn't look so dumb putting him on the pyramid now, does it, Brew?
That was 2 years ago.
Brew didn't even know which Wagner brother he was.
No, it was too early. It was too early. Way too early.
5 for 270.
What are they doing?
Good for him, though. He's a nice player.
You got to pay your good players.
He's more than fine.
No, he's not.
He's more than fine.
Frisky Magic, they're fine.
All right, we should start the real show.
I like him.
You don't like it.
I do. I didn't like him 2 years ago when you said he was the 21st best player in the league.
No, he was 46th.
That was still too
Why one of C.J. Stroud's teammates says he can take the best QB in the world title belt away from Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, man.
It's just being a good teammate.
Okay.
We can't penalize guys for being good teammates.
Don't be a...
Meanwhile, is Team USA a lock for a gold medal? Why one person here, now that July 4th is in the rearview mirror, delivers some harsh truth about this team. I'm sorry. And finally, a special edition of the most delicious segment in all of sports, Title Pie. Dusty, in my ear, did we get a pie or not? I did not see
I don't think so.
Wait and see, he said. You know, Brew wants...
for Mississippi mud.
Okay.
Mississippi mud.
What about apple kind of?
I don't want fruit in my pie.
But apple pie, Brew?
I don't want fruit. Apple crisp, sure.
What's the difference?
But not the. I don't
Just
want the
a little
fruit.
bit of crumbled.
I don't want the fruit.
Can I?
It's July 4th. The apple pies are going to be on sale.
We've spent too much time already on this show on types of pie and Orlando Magic. We should start the show.
Speaking of title pie, we start with another
Buddy
shooter
did his own
spurns
title
the
pie.
Lakers. Buddy Hield, who it feels like the Lakers wanted for years, joined the Warriors in a decision-making process outlined in The Athletic. There was 4 authors on this article. I'll just read what they wrote. Hield didn't make a final decision until after a late Wednesday night call with Steve Kerr, and then a night to sleep on it. Oh, that's nice. Hield chose the Warriors because of the opportunity to win, per league sources. His suitors included, and we did not make this up, the Detroit Pistons. Lakers. What does this say about the Lakers, Brew, that they're grouped with the Detroit Pistons?
Well, they're not grouped with the Detroit Pistons. They're much better than the Pistons. You going to argue that?
They did win one more playoff game, so you have.
All right, here we go. This is interesting, Nick, and I think you'll agree, because neither the Warriors or the Lakers are like close to a title. So it's not like Hield's going somewhere where they expect to win. We'll talk about later. If they can get Lowry Markkanen, sure, then I really like them as a contender. But right now, I would even argue, and we talked about this last year, I think the Lakers are slightly better than the Warriors.
They have been each of the last 2 years.
Right. They're because of AD inside and their size overall, I think they're generally better.
Yeah, and that's not like a hot take, Brew. The Lakers made
Right.
the playoffs last year. The Warriors didn't. And the
beat
year
the
before,
Warriors
the
in the year
Lakers
before.
beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
So go ahead.
It boils down to this, simple and plain, I think. And there are a few other factors, but really, he understands, okay, neither the Warriors or the Lakers are really likely to win the championship next year. But if you don't win in LA, you're the problem and you get the blame. If you don't win in Golden State, you just don't win in Golden State. That's a big difference. Like because whenever LeBron doesn't win, everybody else gets blamed. LeBron has gotten blamed a lot of times too in the past. But right now, everybody's like, what does he need? He needs more help. If you don't go there and play great, look at every role player on their team, save maybe Austin Reeves, is being looked at sideways.
No, Austin Reeves got looked at too.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like Rui and D'Angelo, and I get D'Angelo in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves, but that's the thing. Taurean Prince, who just signed with the Bucks.
Yep.
So I think Hield understands that. Not to mention, the Lakers got a lot going on. It's obviously wherever LeBron's at, it's the microscope is huge because he's LeBron. But then you got the issue with Bronny. Then you got J.J. Redick, a coach who knows whether or not he can coach. And I think Hield also looked at, Steve Kerr, we know he's a great coach.
Yeah.
J.J. Redick, who knows?
How about that?
And the assistant coach for Golden State is head coaching. One of the assistants is head coaching the Bahamas national team, which Hield is playing for. So he had a lot of reasons. But I do think ultimately it's like, if we don't win it in L.A., which we're not, I might get blamed. If we don't win Golden State,
So all deal with all of those, but I also want to kind of set the record straight on something. The Lakers couldn't sign Buddy Hield. Like this, I thought this for 4 reporters to be on this story, it's an interesting one. LeBron James was not taking a discount for them to sign Buddy Hield. They don't have the money. So, this was not available to them. Buddy Hield was not choosing. I thought it was really odd reporting that he was choosing between the Pistons, who have cap space, the Warriors, who were able to do it because of the mid-level exception they were able to open up, and then the Lakers, who are not in on it. Like they were previously in previous iterations.
They only have the taxpayer mid-level.
Right, and so they couldn't sign him, so it felt a little opportunistic to put the Lakers in the story because it creates this conversation, which is fine, so be it. But LeBron James was not taking a pay cut to open up space for Buddy Hield, and the only way the Lakers could have gotten Buddy Hield was if LeBron James took a pay cut to open up that space. So I think
that's the absolute only way.
Well, unless you're going to trade Rui Hachimura, trade a player that's going to make the amount of money that he makes. He just got 2 years, $21 million. And I picked Rui, but I guess Gabe Vincent, someone who's making. I don't think
that's
Gabe's making 10.
That's a serious reporting mistake. If that's the case.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think it is a very bad reporting mistake that was. I will say done with good intention, but the Lakers could not get Buddy Hield. And so unless they were going to trade a player away, unless LeBron was going to take a pay cut for it, and LeBron was not taking a pay cut for Buddy Hield, I know that. So that's the first piece of it. The second piece is kind of the more abstract ideas, which is, are the Warriors more attractive than the Lakers who get rid of the CBA stuff for the reasons Brew mentioned? I think a lot of those things are correct. One of the things that jumped out to me that was noteworthy was this. Steve Kerr got him on the phone. And that, to me, is why the Clay thing was frustrating and other things with the Lakers are frustrating, because I do think it's noteworthy and meaningful for the power brokers and important people in a franchise to talk to a person and sell them on a roll. If you're Buddy Hield, I bet Steve said, hey, a lot of shots opening up now with Clay gone. You fit what we're doing. I think basketball-wise, there's a lot of reasons. Even though Buddy totally fell out of the rotation with Philly, he was basically DNP coach's decision until their final playoff game. Right. You would have thought they could have used him. So for Buddy Hield seems to be much more sought after by teams that don't have him than the team that he currently is on. For some reason, I don't know. I've always liked the player, and the Lakers obviously were trying to get him for a long time previously. But the other piece of it is, I agree with you that guys around LeBron get a lot more blame than guys around Steph. But don't you also think LeBron gets a lot more blame than Steph? Don't you, when the Warriors lose, nobody's I think that everything around LeBron is amplified. Right. And so I think blame is amplified on him more than it is on KD or Steph or whomever is in his tier, and blame is placed on his teammates
doesn't get
more.
Much blame at all.
At all. That's what I was when the Warriors lose, it's like, oh, they lost. Nobody's blamed. When the Lakers lose, everybody's blamed. I'm blaming Pelinka, Darvin Ham, teammates, LeBron, whomever. So I think all of it is just so much more amplified.
All right, well, free agency period coming to a close. There's a handful of guys still out there looking for homes. DeMar DeRozan, fresh off another Kendrick Lamar cameo, probably the best player available. Is there any move the Lakers can make to salvage this offseason?
Well, there really aren't many. Look, I mentioned yesterday Trae Young. They don't seem to have much interest in Trae. I get it. He'd be a max player. Is he getting you over the top? I like Trae there. I think he's a good fit.
Can I ask you a question about that? Did your pick